Modernize Ghana's hydrological monitoring systems. The ministry installed 3 telemetry units along the Black and White Volta River systems to enhance flood forecasting and real-time hydrological monitoring. These are at Laura on the Black Volta, Yarugu and Nawuni along the White Volta River in northern Ghana. These installations significantly strengthen our capacity for data-driven early warning systems and disaster preparedness. Furthermore,
live on Zimbo TVG's News in our studio here at Abala Junction, and we are to bring to you a broadcast on President John Dramani Mahama streamlining his government for a government accountability series, where we shall have to you the Ministry of Housing and Works, where the minister have stated that the Oxygen 60 housing project in the Volta region by the TDC Ghana Limited first major development outside the Tema acquisition area, delivering 1,000 housing units, will be completed by June 2027.
To position TDC Ghana Limited as a key player in Ghana's housing industry, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, performed the sword-cutting ceremony last year for the construction of the Oxygen City housing projects at Ho in the Volta region. This landmark initiative seeks to address Ghana's housing deficit through the development of 1,000 affordable housing units. This project is the first by TDC Ghana Limited outside the Tema acquisition area. The Oxygen City housing project, which will be housed on approximately 1,000 acres of land, is envisioned as a well-planned, serviced and economically integrated community, featuring essential amenities such as a school, hospital, shopping mall, gym, and a recreational center. The expected completion date is June 2027.
The Works and Housing Minister, Kenneth Gilbert Adjei, have said that the National Rental Assistance Scheme is being piloted in 6 regions, with plans to scale up to all the 16 regions nationwide after supporting 2,031 beneficiaries with rent advances in 2025.
The National Rental Assistance Scheme, established by the government in 2023 as a social housing program, aims to facilitate access to rental properties for qualifying beneficiaries by providing rent advance. The scheme is currently being piloted in 6 regions, namely Greater Accra, Bono East, Northern, Eastern, Western, and Ashanti regions. In 2025, the scheme successfully facilitated the payment of rent advance for 2,031 Ghanaians across its 6 operational regions, bringing the cumulative number of beneficiaries since inception to 4,732. I am glad to state that so far, the disbursement recovery rate is about 99%, indicating the government seed money is fully recoverable and in circulation. The program's eligibility criteria, application process, and beneficiary success stories highlight its effectiveness in addressing housing needs and enhancing community well-being, and government is poised to take the necessary steps in the short to medium term to scale up the operations of the scheme across all 16 regions of the country. Review of rent laws. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, recognizing the critical role of rental housing in national development, my ministry continued the review of the Rent Act 1963, Act 220, and the Rent Control Law 1986, PNDC Law 138. These reforms aim to modernize outdated legislation, eliminate regulatory bottlenecks, and incentivize private sector investment into rental housing. Key priorities include maintaining tenant protections, especially for low-income and vulnerable groups, while also regulating hostel accommodations fees across the country. Towards the end of the year 2025, the National Rent Dialogue was organized to validate and streamline the proposed amendment. The ministry taking the necessary steps to resubmit the revised bill to Cabinet and subsequently Parliament for consideration and approval.
He says about 1.76 kilometers of some drains has been constructed as of December 2025 to reduce flood risk nationwide.
You will recall in March 2025, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama visited Sulakope, Agaveji, and Amutinu in the Ketu South municipality, where tidal waves had displaced thousands of residents. During that visit, a firm commitment was made by His Excellency, the President, to address that devastation. True to that promise, I am pleased to announce that a contract was awarded for the Phase 2 of the Blekusu Coastal Protection Project. And in August last year, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, officially broke ground for the commencement of this critical project. Currently, the project is 25% completed, and calm has already been restored along the coastline. Additionally, the Lower Volta Basin Sea Defence Corridor has been incorporated into Waka Resilience Investment Project Phase 2, with technical assessments and environmental impact studies currently ongoing. Feasibility studies have also commenced for future coastal projects at Shama Apo, Ningo Pram Pram, that is the Phase 2, and Ada West. My ministry has been implementing critical interventions to reduce flood-related risks. Notably, progress has been made in the construction, rehabilitation, and desilting of drains across various regions. These works have contributed significantly to improving the capacity of drainage systems, thereby reducing flood risk in identified hotspots. These interventions have resulted in the construction of an approximately 1.76 kilometers of storm drains as at December 2025.
The minister continues to say his ministry has intensified engagement with a selected developer, which the project documents are currently with the Attorney General for review and finalization by the Saglemi housing project.
My ministry has intensified engagement with the selected developer for the completion of the Saglemi affordable housing project. Following the completion of the developer selection process led by Deloitte Ghana, the head of terms have been duly signed by both parties. The joint venture arrangement concluded among all parties as well as the shareholders' agreement drafted and mutually agreed upon. The document is currently with the Attorney General for review and finalization. Similarly, the State Housing Company Limited continued works on key projects, including the Surge Homes development at Amrahia, the SHC Gardens project. Both projects are currently at 68% and 70% completed, respectively. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, National Home Ownership Fund continues to make significant progress in expanding access to affordable housing for Ghanaians. Through its construction financing support, the fund has completed the construction of 129 housing units at Tema Community 22, awaiting commissioning. Similarly, an additional 50 units at Shire Hills is expected to be completed by the end of the second quarter. Government Redevelopment Program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
2,225 homes will be reconstructed for flood victims in 4 regions, while site now mobilized during his turn at the Government Accountability Series.
Following the devastating impact of the Akosombo Dam spillage, my ministry, in collaboration with the 19 affected district assemblies, went through an extensive process to validate a total of 2,225 housing to be reconstructed for the flood victims across 4 regions. Phase 1 of the resettlement efforts consists of 1,010 housing units within the 3 critical impact zones, namely North Tong, Central Tong, and South Tong districts in the Volta region. Site mobilization and construction activities are currently active in 8 locations across the 3 districts, with 251 housing units ongoing at various levels of completion. Greenville District Housing Program. As part of the decentralization agenda and in line with government's commitment to affordable housing, my ministry has initiated the Greenville District Housing Program, a strategic intervention targeting low to middle income earners at the district level. In its pilot phase, the program has commenced in 8 districts, namely South Dai, Asojaman, Achimansa, Ajumako Enyan Esiem, Achema Kwangoma, Doma West, Bole, and Tamale, and at various levels of completion now. Each district is earmarked to receive 22-bedroom housing units as part of the first phase of the project. A hybrid construction approach using compressed earth bricks and sandcrete blocks is being adopted, prioritizing sustainability, cost efficiency, and resilience. The official launch of the Greenville District Housing Program is expected to be performed in the short term. This milestone marks a significant step towards decentralizing housing delivery and advancing social equity, inclusivity, and improved living standards across the country.
The minister confirms the installation of 3 telemetry units along the Black and White Volta Rivers to improve real-time flood monitoring. He highlighted that his will boost flood forecasting and help the government respond faster to potential disaster.
To modernize Ghana's hydrological monitoring systems, the ministry installed 3 telemetry units along the Black and White Volta River systems to enhance flood forecasting and real-time hydrological monitoring. These are at Laura on the Black Volta, Yarugu, and Nawuni along the White Volta River in northern Ghana. These installations significantly strengthen our capacity for data-driven early warning systems and disaster preparedness. Furthermore, an automatic discharge keeper has been installed at Aveno, Weja in the Odo River, and Densu River catchment areas, significantly improving flow measurement and generating actionable hydrological data to support urban flood management in Accra. Additionally, real-time flow monitoring equipment has been installed at Sugakope in the Lower Volta Basin, Ashalaja in the Densu River Basin, and Pokwase in the Odo catchment, all aimed at monitoring stream flows and collecting the necessary hydrological data and information for flood risk management and mitigation. In a complementary effort, the Ghana Hydrological Authority, in partnership with the Volta River Authority, has also rehabilitated several malfunctioning gauging stations within the Volta River Basin. The renovated stations include Pran, Sineso, Yendi, Pasa, Dodo Tamale, Ahamasu, and Vapo.
Ending our news broadcast on the Government Accountability Series with the Ministry of Works and Housing of President John Dramani Mahama's administration. I am Peter Nate Agboyoma.